Good morning, students. Today lesson Unit 10 Types of Chemical Reactions. Unit 10 Types of Chemical Reactions. In today's topic, how are chemical reactions represented? What is reactant? What is a product? What is balanced chemical reaction? Relationship, the chemical reactions and its physical state. First, our chemical reactions are represented. Representation of chemical reactions. What is chemical reaction? The change of one or more substances into other substances having a different composition and properties is called a chemical reaction. The change of one or more substances into other substances having a different composition and properties is called chemical reaction. Example, this is carbon, the solid form. Oxygen is in gaseous state to form carbon dioxide. This is gaseous state. A second example, hydrogen, gaseous state. Oxygen, also gas, to form 2H2O, that is liquid water. Solid plus gas to form gas. Gas plus gas to form liquid. So this is entirely change the properties and the product. So this is chemical reactions. The change of one or more substances. One or more than one substances, that is carbon and oxygen, into other substance. So this is entirely a new substance is formed having different composition. This is only carbon, this is oxygen, to form different composition of carbon dioxide, that is gas. And the properties of carbon dioxide is also differ from carbon and oxygen, and the properties is called chemical reactions. In a chemical reaction, the substances which react together are called reactants. In a chemical reaction, the substances which react together are called reactants, whereas the new substances formed are called product. What is reactant and what is product? In a chemical reaction, the substances which react together are called reactants, whereas the new substances formed are called products. A reactant, in this reaction, carbon and oxygen are called reactants. The product, carbon dioxide. Here hydrogen and oxygen are reactants. The water is the product. Next, how are chemical reactions represented? When methane react with oxygen, this is the example reaction. Methane react with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide and water. Methane plus oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. But this equation does not give the chemical composition of the reactants and products. So this is only the statement. Methane is reacted with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. This equation does not give the chemical composition of the reactants and products. From these equations or the statement of these equations, we can't understand the chemical composition of the reactants and products. In this reaction, methane and oxygen is a reactants. Carbon dioxide and water are the product. To learn the characteristics of a chemical reaction, it is represented by a chemical equation. To learn the characteristics of a chemical reactions, what is the characters of the acid or base or anything. To learn the characteristics of a chemical reaction, it is represented by a chemical equation. In the chemical equation, the chemicals of the reaction are represented by their chemical formulas. This is an important one. In the chemical equation, the chemicals of the reaction are represented by their chemical formulas. The compounds or elements which undergo reactions, that is called reactants, are shown to the left of an arrow. This is arrow, left of an arrow, that is CH4 and O2, which undergo reactions, that is called reactants. In this reaction, CH4 and O2, this is called reactants, are shown to the left of an arrow. Left of an arrow. So, arrow is here, left of an arrow, CH4 and oxygen. This is called reactants. And the compounds formed, that is product, are shown to the right of the arrow. So, this is also present in the right of the arrow, carbon dioxide and water. This is called product. In this reaction, CH4 and O2 are called reactants. CO2 and H2O are called products. The compounds or elements which undergo reactions, this is called reactants, are shown to the left of an arrow. And the compounds formed, that is product, are shown to the right of the arrow. The arrow indicates the direction of the reaction. The arrow mark indicates the direction of the reaction. The reaction is CH4 plus O2 gives CO2 plus H2O. The law of conservation of matter states that matter cannot be created or destroyed. We cannot create new atoms by a chemical reaction. They are rearranged in different ways by a chemical reaction to form a new compound. The law of conservation of matter states that matter cannot be created or destroyed. We cannot create new atoms by a chemical reaction. They are rearranged in different ways by a chemical reaction to form a new compound. In this reaction, CH4 is reacted with the oxygen to form CO2 and H2O. CH4 methane is reacted with the oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. Left of an arrow mark. So, this is arrow mark. Left of an arrow mark, CH4 and O2. In CH4 and O2, total number of carbon atom is only one carbon atom. Hydrogen, here 4 hydrogen atom. So, 4 hydrogen atom. Oxygen 2. Oxygen is equal to 2. At the same time, right of an arrow. Right side of the arrow mark, carbon dioxide and water is present. Here total number of carbon atom only one carbon. Hydrogen, two hydrogen. Oxygen, here two oxygen, here one oxygen, totally three oxygen. When compared with the left hand side and right hand side, here carbon, one carbon, here also one carbon. Hydrogen, here four hydrogen, here two hydrogen. Here two oxygen, here three oxygen. So this is incomplete reaction. So left hand side and right hand side. Left of an arrow and right of an arrow is not a match, or total number of atoms is not same. So this is incomplete reaction. In a chemical equation, the number of atoms of the reactants and that of the products must be equal. So this is balanced chemical reaction. In a chemical equation, the number of atoms of the reactants and that of the products must be equal. On balancing the number of atoms, we get the balanced chemical reaction. What is balanced chemical reaction? This is both sides are also equal. So this is called balanced. 3 into 2, 6. 9 minus 3, 6. Here 6, right hand side also 6. So this is balanced. So what is balanced chemical equation? A balanced chemical equation is the simplified representation of a chemical reaction, which describes the chemical composition, physical state of the reactants and the products, and the reaction conditions also. A balanced chemical equation is the simplified representation of a chemical reaction, which describes the chemical composition, physical state of the reactants and the products. So this is balanced chemical reaction. So example, CH4, one carbon, four hydrogen, one carbon, all the sides are covered with four hydrogen, each one hydrogen in all sides. Only one carbon, first hydrogen, second hydrogen, third hydrogen, fourth hydrogen, plus two oxygen, one oxygen, two oxygen, second oxygen. So here also first oxygen, second oxygen, two oxygen molecule. This is one oxygen molecule. This is another oxygen molecule. More than one atom, that is called molecule. Here two oxygen. So this is oxygen molecule. Here two oxygen atom. So this is also oxygen molecule. CH4 is reacted with 2O2 gives CO2, one carbon, two oxygen, CO2 plus 2H2O, hydrogen and oxygen, 2H2O. This is one water molecule, that is hydrogen plus hydrogen and oxygen. Here also hydrogen plus hydrogen plus oxygen, one oxygen, two hydrogen, one oxygen, two hydrogen. So H2O, H2, first hydrogen, second hydrogen, one oxygen, so H2O. This is water molecule. This is also water molecule. So two water molecules, so 2H2O. CH4 plus 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O. After balancing the chemical reaction, that is CH4 plus 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O. Left of an arrow, here one carbon, hydrogen, four hydrogen, oxygen, 2 into 2, 4, that is 4 oxygen. Right of an arrow, one carbon, oxygen, here two oxygen, here one oxygen, plus 2 plus 1 oxygen, so 2 oxygen totally. So here 2 oxygen, here also 2 oxygen, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 oxygen. Hydrogen 2 into 2, so that is 4. For balancing equation, carbon in the left hand side 1, right hand side also 1. Hydrogen left hand side 4, right hand side also 4. Oxygen left hand side 4, right hand side also 4. So this is balanced chemical reaction, balanced chemical equation. Left hand side and right hand side, the number of atoms also same. Examples for other balanced chemical reaction. HCl, hydrochloric acid, plus NaOH to form Na and Cl to form NaCl. 1 sodium, 1 chlorine. The product side 1 sodium and 1 chlorine. And then here 1 hydrogen, second hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Totally in the left hand side 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Here 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So this is water molecule. Left hand side and right hand side both also same number of atoms. In second reaction, 1 hydrogen plus 1 bromine, HBr, and then potassium hydroxide, KOH, K potassium was O oxygen and hydrogen. The right hand side, here 1 potassium, here also 1 potassium. Bromine, 1 Br, 1 Br. 2 hydrogen in the right hand side, here 1 and 1, 2 hydrogen and oxygen, 1 oxygen in the left hand side, 1 oxygen in the right hand side. So both also balanced chemical reaction. The chemical equation provides information on the physical state of the substances and the conditions under which the reaction takes place. The chemical equation provides information on the physical state of the substances and the conditions under which the reaction takes place. So this is CH4, this is gaseous form, gas. 2O2, this is also gas. Oxygen, methane, oxygen, this is in gaseous state, this is also in gaseous state. The product is CO2, carbon dioxide is also gas, and the water, it is gaseous state, water vapor, okay, 2H2O. Okay, the chemical equation provides information on the physical state of the substance. Physical state is gas, that is vapor form. This is water. Substances and the conditions under which the reaction takes place. Okay, we understand the type of the reaction and the physical state of the reactants and product also. The physical state of the substances in a chemical reaction are denoted in short form within a bracket as the subscript of the formula. The physical state of the substances in a chemical reaction are denoted in short form within a bracket as the subscript of the formula. Example, when solid potassium reacts with liquid, that is water, it produces hydrogen gas and potassium hydroxide solution. When solid potassium reacts with liquid water, it produces hydrogen gas and potassium hydroxide solution. All this information on the reaction is given in the chemical equation. In this reaction, the solid state potassium, that is 2K, react with water, liquid water, 2H2O, liquid state. It produces hydrogen gas. This is hydrogen gas and potassium hydroxide solution. So this is potassium K, hydroxide OH, KOH, potassium hydroxide solution means this is aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means the substance dissolved in water. So this is aqueous solution. In this reaction, 2K plus 2H2O, this is solid state, this is liquid state, to form 2KOH, this is aqueous state, that is a substance dissolved in water, and gas, H2 gas is formed. So symbol S, L. S means solid, L liquid, G gas, AQ aqueous solution. So from this chemical reaction, we understand the nature or the physical state of the reactants and product. This is solid form. This is liquid form. This is gaseous form. This is aqueous solution. S means solid, L means liquid, G gas, AQ aqueous solution. Thank you, students.